On February 15, 2025, Egyptian Member of Parliament, Mustafa Bakri, warned that if Israel makes a mistake, the Egyptian army will conquer Tel Aviv in a single day. While hopefully Egypt will abide by its peace treaty with Israel, and this will never happen, the question arises, what would happen if Egypt launched a war against Israel, and Israel retaliated by attacking and destroying the Aswan Dam? The Aswan Dam is a critical piece of infrastructure for Egypt, providing significant economic, agricultural, and social benefits. If it were destroyed, the consequences for Egypt would be catastrophic, both in the short and long term, and would severely impact its war-making capabilities, government stability, and society. Flooding and immediate destruction. The destruction of the Aswan Dam would unleash a massive flood downstream along the Nile River. This would devastate cities, towns, and agricultural areas, causing widespread loss of life, displacement of millions, and destruction of infrastructure. Disruption of water supply. The Nile is Egypt's primary source of fresh water. The dam's destruction would lead to an immediate water crisis, affecting drinking water, sanitation, and agriculture. This would exacerbate humanitarian crises and strain emergency response systems. Energy crisis. The Aswan Dam generates a significant portion of Egypt's electricity. Its destruction would lead to widespread power outages, crippling industries, hospitals, and daily life. Economic collapse. The immediate flooding and destruction would disrupt Egypt's economy, particularly agriculture, which relies heavily on Nile water for irrigation. The loss of hydroelectric power would further harm industrial production and economic activity. Military and war-making capabilities. In the short term, Egypt's military would be overwhelmed by the humanitarian crisis and the need to respond to the disaster. Resources would be diverted from the war effort to address the immediate needs of the population, severely limiting Egypt's ability to sustain a military campaign. As you can see, the short-term fallout from the destruction of the Aswan Dam would be severe, but there would also be extremely dire long-term effects. Agricultural devastation. The Nile's water flow would become unpredictable, leading to long-term agricultural challenges. Egypt's ability to grow food would be severely compromised, leading to food shortages, increased reliance on imports, and potential famine. Economic instability. The loss of the dam would have long-term economic repercussions, including reduced agricultural output, increased energy costs, and the need for massive reconstruction efforts. This would strain government finances and likely lead to economic stagnation or decline. Social unrest and political instability. The humanitarian crisis and economic collapse could lead to widespread social unrest. The government might face protests, riots, and even challenges to its legitimacy. In extreme cases, this could lead to political instability or regime change. Environmental impact. The destruction of the dam would alter the Nile's ecosystem, affecting biodiversity and potentially leading to long-term environmental degradation. This would further harm agriculture and water resources. Regional implications. The Nile is a shared resource, and the dam's destruction could have downstream effects on Sudan and other neighboring countries. This could lead to regional tensions or conflicts over water resources. Military weakness. In the long term, Egypt's military capabilities would be severely weakened due to the economic and social fallout. The government would struggle to maintain military readiness, and the focus would likely shift to internal stability rather than external conflicts. So, let us hope that not just for Israel's sake, but also for the sake of millions of Egyptian people, that Egypt will not seek a new war with Israel and will continue to honor her commitments in the peace treaty signed with Israel.